My name is Leah Joy. I go by LJ. I've been in the music business for 10 years now. I can hardly believe that. A little background, I'm a former professional ballroom dancer, a singer, Brazilian jazz singer, and I'm a rock and roll drummer. I still play drums and occasionally sing. Don't really dance anymore because of an injury, and really dove into the music industry side, the business side of the music business, at full force when I could no longer dance full time. So currently my day job is I'm the client development director for TicketWeb, which is a division of Ticketmaster. I handle business development and marketing for TicketWeb by day for the United States, and by night I am a consultant for an online crowdfunding platform called IndieGoGo, and I'm here to discuss crowdfunding with you this evening. And then I also have a third job, but don't get paid for it. I am also a blogger, and one of my challenges, one of my struggles is balancing my time between the three. I work incessantly, it feels like, and some of it is more rewarding than others. But the blog is The Zenful Blogger, and it's about balancing life and work. So there you go. So it's a work in progress there. But I'm here to talk to you about crowdfunding tonight. So what is crowdfunding? Does anybody know? Has anybody heard the term? Great. Okay, it's fairly new. It's been out there for about 3 years now. It hails from San Francisco, and it spread internationally very quickly. There are a lot of companies out there that do it, and I won't get so much into the specific companies tonight, although I do represent one of them. But I'm here to talk about the benefits of crowdfunding and what that might mean for you and your businesses. So what is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is a do-it-with-others platform instead of DIY. And in the music business, as an artist myself, one of many of our struggles is that we're feeling sort of like we're on an island. Well, we literally are on an island right now, but I'm talking, you know, alone in the project, trying to make things happen and get the word out there. And the thing that's so wonderful about crowdfunding is it's very community-based. Basically, you invite your community into your world on an online platform, and you tell them about your passion project. The passion project can be anything at all, but since we're talking about music tonight, the passion can be I need funding for my next album. I need funding for a new trailer. I need funding for new merchandise. I need funding for my next tour. I need funding for a Pro Tools platform, and on and on and on. It can be for whatever you need. It can also be funding for a charity-based project. So if there's a cause that you would like to tie into your project that's bigger than just what you are trying to do artistically, maybe there's another charity that you'd like to partner with, that can be an idea for you as well. And I think that the karma goes a lot farther that way, so that's an idea. Anyway, yes, I'm here to pitch karma to you tonight. So anyway, so that's crowdfunding in a nutshell. How do you do crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is based on a message that you send to your community, and most likely, these days on the online platforms that are available, the pitch is through video. The video needs to be short, it needs to be simple, it needs to be clear and concise, it needs to be a message of passion to your community using the 5 W's, right? Who, what, where, when, and why, okay? It could also include a how. And basically you're just giving your community an honest message. This is who I am. This is my project. This is why it's meaningful to me. This is how much money I need. And in order to determine what that is, you'll have to do some research. because your community will want to know why you need $5,000, you know, to drop an EP. Maybe there's a portion of your community who has no idea what the costs are that are involved, so you just give it to them straight. The unique thing about crowdfunding is these people that become your fans and well, I don't want to say investors, but contributors, they're not giving you a loan, they're not investing in the sense that they are getting equity in your company or in your music or your licensing or anything like that. What they are expecting in return are perks. So perks can be defined by the individual. Whatever you think is clever enough and compelling enough and popular enough to draw interest and get contributions from your fans and your community. So it can be anywhere from something as simple to you've got a stack of stickers left over, you know, that you printed up from the last show you did, to a new t-shirt that you've got that you're printing out and you'd like to give away a few as a thank you, to I've got bands now on my platform who are willing for $5,000, the entire band is willing to go to the person's house and make them dinner. So it can be very creative and fun, and I think the fans they're really into it. The money actually, interestingly enough, becomes a byproduct of crowdfunding. What is most important is that you're engaging your fans long term. So a number of you mentioned, you know, that you're interested in engaging your fans, finding your market. This is definitely a great way to do it. And crowdfunding platforms these days have a whole slew of tools that you can use to get the word out and then allow your fans, your current fans, to share and get the word out as well. Statistically, the first 30% of your contributors will be your friends and family and fans, your current friends, family, and fans. After that first 30%, you will build enough credibility that any strangers that hear about your project that are passing through online will see that it's on fire and want to contribute as well. And that's when the project really takes off. Crowdfunding projects, they range. They range anywhere from, I've seen $500 projects to $15,000 projects. That's actually the average span. But there are $100,000 projects and up. And I have seen recently, I think it was, okay, well, it's more than 500, but $3,400 for a man who lost his tooth while he was eating his sandwich and didn't have health insurance or dental insurance. So he did this pitch, please, you know, please help me replace my tooth. It costs this much money to get a root canal and then this much money to get the actual tooth replaced. And unless you want to see me look like this for the rest of my life, and he smiles and he's missing his front tooth, please, you know, anything would be helpful, $1 or $2, and he reached his goal within a couple of weeks. So, yeah, exactly. So something as silly as that, but important to this guy, definitely a passion project of his.
That was going to answer my question. So this doesn't necessarily have to be music related. This could be
anything. For any passion project, it is what you define it.
And what do you give them?
That's what you would create. So you would create perks that are parallel to the contribution, right? So I just came from a meeting with a record label that has a roster of fairly big name bands. And so some of these bands can afford to give away signed Fenders, you know, that are worth $10,000 a piece and up. And so for a $10,000 contribution or a $5,000 or $7,500 contribution or whatever makes sense in parallel to the contribution, that would be the perk that you would offer. I recommend that for your initial project, the most effective way and cost-effective way to go is to fulfill perks that you already have in the wings, you know, standing by. In other words, if you already have a stack of stickers that are pre-printed, you already made merchandise that you can give away, things like that that aren't going to cost you additional out-of-pocket expense. That would be the way to go for the first project. A lot of crowdfunding platforms these days also provide partnership tools, meaning they can contribute to the amount of strangers that will come across your site. So do your research out there, because like I said, there's a lot, and find out which one works best for you and which will drive the most traffic to your project. Obviously, you want tools that are going to allow you to automatically get the word out via Twitter and MySpace and Facebook and so on and so forth. But it doesn't just end there. You know, find out if these projects also can help you with press. Find out if these projects put out weekly blogs that maybe they can feature you on, and other ways that you can lean on them as a partnership to get the word out. That's important, so that you feel like you're not alone. So, yeah.
How do the crowdfunding platforms make money for their platform?
Great question. Yeah. So, generally speaking, crowdfunding platforms charge a very small margin percentage of what the project raises. And so I can tell you, and I tell everybody that I talk to crowdfunding about, what you want to do is find out whatever that percentage is and make sure that you include it in the amount that you need to raise. So at the time that your project closes, when you successfully meet your goal, then none of it comes out of your end of the amount that you need to raise. Does that make sense?
What does IndieGoGo charge?
IndieGoGo charges between 4 and 9%. It's sliding because if you meet your goal, and I'm going to talk about setting goals in just a moment, but if you meet your goal, IndieGoGo rewards the project and pays back 5 of their 9% to the project. So then it's just 4%. And there is a cost of 3% for a credit card, and that's pretty much standard for all platforms. It's like PayPal cost, basically.